Right now, we got the 2008 GLI 6-speed. After ordering the axle, the 6-speeds and the DSGs are the same driver side, at least part number. Start off, before I lift it up, loosen your 17mm lug nuts. The center bolt in this one is a 1/1/16. Yes, it's a 12-point instead of a regular, but it's the first one I came to in the toolbox and it did the job. Next, we'll take the nut off. I don't know if I'm gonna have to take tie rods and stuff off in this. I'm really hoping I don't, but we'll see. And then it's gonna be the same triple square kit I had out in past videos. I forget which one off the top of my head it is, but there'll be eight bolts that hold the axle to the transmission. And then this one, when we get this one partially out, I'll take a video. You get it partially out and then hit it with the hammer so you don't mess anything up. And start backing it out. I'll keep you updated on it anyway as we go. So yeah, there's gonna be, you're gonna need a few extensions. There's 8 bolts back in there. And I just put the transmission in neutral so I can turn it all the way around as we go, kind of thing. But yeah, that's loose now, so I can impact that out actually if I want to. But next is going to be that. You're going to have to get quite a few extensions, rotate as you go to be able to reach them all nicely. So this is what we're going with that triple square from the kit. And once you get in there, usually a nice working distance to here. I like to just hold it up here when you torque on it. And cheater, I cheat on it. Nice extendable bar. And if you need to, got the swivel head, but in this case we're not gonna need to. But we're definitely using the extendable bar. Make it a lot easier. Quite honestly, you'll be turning for days. So all I like to do is just break them loose and then use the little inch pound and back them out. I also just want to stand corrected, and apparently in 6-speed GTI Mark 5s there is 6. Pretty sure in the older ones there's 8. I may completely be wrong at this point, but anyway, that's loose. Got it backed all the way out, put it in a few threads, and then that backs your axle out. Pull it out some more. That's pretty much all that's going to be collapsed. And it's loose anyway, so we'll throw that over there. And then hopefully, I really hope that I can just rotate this around and be able to pop that out on, yeah, probably the front side and be able to slip that yoke off without any trouble. Maybe the back side. I mean, they don't look in that bad a shape, but we're in East Coast crustacean, and I'd really rather not. I know the sway bar looks good because I literally just put those on a couple months ago, but you can't really tell. They're already starting to crust away. Yeah, so just like that, I just popped it through, rotate it all the way over, jam my finger because it is a bit of a tight squeeze, but it will come out and go in here. The cup, I know the one I got gives you new bolts, but I don't know if they come with the collars, which once they're tightened in there, if they do start to back out, I've been told that they're supposed to keep them from backing all the way out. As it deforms, the collar's supposed to catch it and at least give you time to notice. But yeah, doesn't seem that bad. But then you get up to the front one. I don't think you're supposed to squirt water out the front of your axles. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be grease in there. But I'll get to do one on the back seat of the car, and it is an absolute royal pain most of the time. Once you get the axle in and get it started out front, put your nut in loosely just to hold it in place. Don't tighten it yet. But it is usually an absolute royal pain to get those bolts to start back in those freaking holes. So this new one that I got from Napa is Ultra 8, whatever brand. It came with a little baggie of grease, and the end cap was zip tied closed. You actually had to grease that end, separate it, and grease it yourself. I've never encountered that one before, but just a warning out there. Comes with a zip tie. Pop that cap off and see what's going on back there. It also did come with 6 new bolts and a new main. Honestly, these bolts are quite a bit shorter. I don't know if that's axle design thickness. They look to be about the same, but I don't know. They look to be about the same, but they're definitely a little bit shorter. And I mean, with these, I might just reuse these. Put some Loctite on the ends. There wasn't that much actual engagement into the transmission, so if I take 1/4 inch off and then put that collar on too, that'll be, yeah, it's about 1/4 inch off it. I don't know, I'll make that decision here in a few. I do see the difference. These ones are actually Allen headed, and now that I got the boat, they have this nice tapered collar on them that actually, once it's in there, fits nice and tight. Whereas when I put these ones through, even with the retainers, they wobble around quite a bit in there. So there's warranty. We'll put the ones in that it comes with and see how that works out, I guess. I hate replacing shit with Allen heads, especially wear and tear parts. Living in the Rust Belt, those things always immediately go round next time you have to touch them. Also, I reckon a lot of axles back in when I was running the Mark IVs every day, put the studs in before you fish that axle in, and they'll push out a little bit, but they won't actually come all the way out past that rubber once it's in there. It's definitely going to save your bacon and a lot easier trying to line them up and thread them in. It's way easier than trying to put it on the end of the extension and run it 3 feet in and stuff, but just a little tip. Works for me anyway. Because of the change in bolts and the socket's not as long, we had to add a 3rd extension. And as for torque spec, basically just, oh, this is something hard to do when you're trying to put the camera lens, get it on there, and really, I just go until right about there. It kind of half feels like I'm going to start to strip it or break something. That's about torque spec. Well, now that those are torque to spec, got this snugged up, I'm going to have a beer break, wait for the non-screwed battery to charge a bit, and then we're going to snug this up with that, put the tire back on, set it back down on the ground, and then we're going to take the big bar and we're actually gonna torque that one pretty good, and then it's done. Again, like I keep saying, all in all, it's not that long. Probably, well, what time is it here? I don't know, because my phone will not let me scroll that while I'm videoing, but I don't know, I'm still under an hour. I made a little video. Don't be scared of doing stuff, and honestly, if you look it up, it's going to tell you, take your tie rod off, take your sway bar link off so you can rotate your thing all the way, or blah, blah, blah. More commonly, they tell you most of the time on these to take the 3 bolts at the bottom of the ball joint and slide it out so you can swing your whole assembly away from it. But it's a tight squeeze, but it can be done without disturbing any of that stuff or hurting any of your new parts. So until next time, that's it.